All right, let's do this. Um, so I've spent the vast majority of my day in this chair. Uh, I was one of the crazy people that bought a live streaming ticket to the big festival happening that happened in Birmingham, England today. Um, the live stream started at 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time, and it ended right around 8 o'clock. So, needless to say, I sat here on my phone and I ordered Instacart, so I had some groceries in the house because by the time the concert ended, of course, Black Sabbath was the final band to go on. By the time the final set ended, the little local grocery store was closed. So that wasn't an option, and I was running pretty low on some staples. So I had some food delivered, and so I've got some stuff to last me through hopefully through the week since I'm leaving Friday to go on vacation. Okay. Grish, of course, was first. Going to watch fireworks, so I will have to catch it later. Not a problem. Excuse me, not a problem, Terrell. Had people letting off fireworks until almost midnight last night. It was yesterday was a day that I just kind of stayed inside and watched movies. Didn't have a lot of motivation to get a lot of things done. I sat and read for a while, but I think I watched 3 movies yesterday. None of them were great. Just free stuff on Amazon Prime Video, but yeah, that's the scoop. Hey David, welcome in. Had all our neighborhood fireworks shows last night. Nice. I hear just a few fireworks in the distance tonight. Yeah, it's not quite dark here, so I'm waiting a little while longer to see if they're going to start popping them off in the alley or something that's off to my right hand side. Oh, so it's been a day. Just for the sake of argument. Let's see. There we go. Back to the beginning. I've got a document. So the rundown. Mastodon was the first band. Rival Sons, which played as an opening act for Black Sabbath in 2016 on the End tour. I was disappointed that the singer for Anthrax totally screwed up the lyrics for one of the Black Sabbath songs that they covered, or the only Black Sabbath song they covered. Hailstorm, fronted by Lizzie Hale, performed Perry Mason, which was an Ozzy solo song from 95-ish. Lamb of God did Children of the Grave. Then we had our first sort of all-star band made up of different people from different groups. They did Shot in the Dark, which is an Ozzy solo song, Sweet Leaf, and Changes, which were both Black Sabbath songs. Then we had Jack Black, the actor, did Mr. Crowley, and I'm assuming he was backed by kids from the current iteration of the School of Rock, since that's actually a thing. Alice in Chains came on next. They performed Man in the Box. They performed another Alice in Chains songs, which I wasn't familiar with. And then they performed Fairies Wear Boots, a Black Sabbath song. Following that was Gojira, and I don't know any of their material. They did Under the Sun. And then the next all-star band, this was Tom Morello, Travis Baker, Chad Smith, Danny Kaye, and Rudy Sarzo, performed Symptom of the Universe. And then they partially changed lineups, and it was Tom Morello, Billy Corgan, KK Dowling, and others performed Breaking the Law, which is a Judas Priest song, and Snowblind, a Black Sabbath song. And then we had Sammy Hagar, Tom Morello, Chad Smith, Vernon Reid from Living Color. They performed Flying High Again, and the song Rock Candy, which was Sammy Hagar's first band, Montrose, originally did that. And then Travis Barker, Sammy Hagar, Papa 5, Petura, Perpetua, I don't know, whatever. And Vernon Reid performed Bark at the Moon. And then we had, this one was probably one of the best performances of the whole thing. It was Ronnie Wood from the Jeff Beck group, I guess. I think he's played with the Rolling Stones. Tom Morello, Steven Tyler, and Travis Barker. They performed the Yardbirds' Train Kept a Rolling, Aerosmith's Walk This Way, and Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love. So that was epic. That was great. Then we had Pantera, featuring Zakk Wylde on lead guitar. They performed Cowboys from Hell, Walk, Planet Caravan, and Electric Funeral. Tool came on next. They played 46 and 2 and Hand of Doom and A Enema. They've got that funky AE character, whatever the heck that's supposed to be, for that song name. Then Slayer came on. Slayer! They played Disciple, War Ensemble, Wicked World, and they played the first two verses of Wicked World, and then they launched into South of Heaven. And, of course, they ended that with Pantera's Raining Blood. So, and then Fred Durst, he was in a, I don't know what you call it, Limp Bizkit, the band. And he was there with somebody playing acoustic guitar and cello performing Changes, which was a Black Sabbath song. All right, so that gets you through most of the concert, and we'll save the last 4 bands for a recap later on. So to say it was an epic day is an understatement. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and well worth the $33 I paid for it. So I will say that. Let's see. Bands and songs are just not something I've ever followed. That's fair.
Joe Cephas is in the house. Just to catch you up, we are talking about the epic, life-changing, I don't know how else to say it, the big concert that happened in England today that ended with Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's final stage appearances, right? Because Ozzy's got Parkinson's disease, and Tony Iommi, the guitar player for Black Sabbath, has had cancer, and I guess it's currently in remission, but, sooner or later it'll rear its ugly head again, I'm sure. So yeah, we are talking about that, and then we'll maybe look at Debian Trixie, the latest ISO daily build, I guess you would call it. I did get that installed. I've got the KDE desktop version installed, so we'll boot that up and mess around with it for a few minutes at some point. Yes, that one.
Oh, whoops. I thought I'd hit that. I suppose if I want to do the devil laugh, I've got to put it back. Okay, I've had enough fun. Concert was in Birmingham, England, at the soccer stadium. They would call it football because you play it with your foot. You know, doesn't that sound like a snooty Brit? Anyways. Yeah. I sat in this chair most of the day, getting up only for bathroom and food breaks, as they were changing between bands. And so they had this huge stage, but they had like a turntable, so they'd have two bands equipment set up. One band would end their set, they would rotate it around halfway so the next band could plug everything in, and then the backdrop would come down, and then they would take off the previous band's equipment and set up for the band that followed. What was the streaming platform? It was browser based. I don't know what the platform was. Honestly, they really only had one glitch, and they lost audio for half of a song. Except, so let's see if I can bring this back up. Oh, well, if I watch it through a second time, yeah, 9 hours and 57 minutes is what the video clocks at. I don't know what they're using behind the scenes, Joe. They've got their own website for it, and I'm sure it's just, well, let's take a look. It's been a while since I've done much HTML, but let's see. Font, Google APIs, blah blah blah. It's all font stuff. Script type module, cross origin source 3.2.10.4b. I don't know what that all means. I don't think it's telling us much. But yeah, this was the this was the website. It was backtothebeginning.com. And I don't know. I thought about ordering my niece's t-shirts, but at $60 a piece, I don't think I'm going to do that. So anyway, let's see. Powered by Kiswa. I don't know what that is. This thing. I guess that's your answer. They had some hella cool cameras, though. I have to say. So yeah, this must be it. Take your event global for sports and entertainment. And I don't see any pricing information, so it's probably way more than I can afford. Powering direct-to-consumer streaming experiences for sports, teams, leagues, creators, and artists. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Click here to access the Kiswi-powered Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning event. All right. Dedicated platforms. Yeah, I'm guessing I couldn't afford this if I wanted to. Mercury Studios to live stream Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's final show. All right, well, you've got your answer, Joe. Kiswi, whatever that means. Let's see. Oh, yeah. The dumbass with the electric car company. I did attend one musical concert at a computer company sales meeting about 20 years ago. I believe the lead was Rob Thomas. Rob Toms. Could be Thomas. I was thinking the same thing. Santana, maybe? The audio was good. I've got bookshelf speakers on my desk. They're not like super, super high quality bookshelf speakers, but they are wired to my Mac Mini. So, and we all know that the Mac Minis have a good preamp in them. So, anyways, yeah. Well, I hope it helps you in whatever you and or capture the concept may use the information for. But I mean, it took a little sleuthing, but we figured it out, right? Okay, so let's jump over here. And we'll fire up Trixie. So this is a pre-release version. They don't do alphas or betas at Debian. They do daily builds, and when it's deemed stable, they release it. That's how they do things. Now, it's Debian. Debian has always been pretty rock solid on whatever hardware I've thrown at it. And certainly on virtual machines, it's been very rock solid. So we will go ahead and start this up. One day I'll actually edit the configuration file so that it saves my local scaling setting. Well, all right, so this is the KDE Plasma desktop. Yes, if you're a Windows user, it's probably going to look pretty familiar. I have not really customized this any. Let's see, panel configuration. Right, so I am going to do center alignment and Floating is good. Width, fit content. That's better. Now it's kind of a hybrid between the Windows taskbar and the Mac OS dock, right? Only we ruin it by having basically a start menu. So it's got all the things that you would expect. You can view the network. It's showing Apple devices, shared folders, and it's got my NAS stuff automatically. I mean, you'd have to log into it to actually access it, but very usable file manager, right? They've got a software center, or Apple users would call it an app store. Fun fact, Linux had this concept before Mac OS or Windows got it. So just a little concept there. Because Linux started doing this as basically a front end to their package manager years and years and years ago. Let's see. Debian GNU Linux 13 Trixie, running Wayland as a display manager, KDE Framework 6.13, Qt 6.8.2. And then there's got author information. So you've got all your normal stuff down here. So, Tuba is a Fediverse client. I mean, fun stuff there. Interesting. But yeah, there's all kinds of software, most of it being free. And file sharing, you've got the normal stuff, your BitTorrent clients, your sync clients, your backup stuff, FTP, Git, C file. You've got a bunch of mail clients, which is all well and good. And you've got a bunch of web browsers. I'm actually quite happy to see that Microsoft Edge is not listed in here. So yeah, then you've got chat stuff as well. But yeah, popular, editor's choice, highest rated games. And developer tools. So that's all in good. Let's see, settings. Now, if you thought that Windows settings were excessive and challenging to find things, well, meet the KDE Plasma system settings. KDE Plasma says, hold my beer. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Fine, apply. Okay, so we went to dark mode and it's found my printer already. So that's fine. Wallpapers. Wallpaper type, picture of the day. So it can load all kinds of stuff with a built-in wallpaper engine, and you can get providers from astronomy, from NASA, earth science, from USRA, whatever that is. And several other places. So it's going to take a minute to load, but I'm just going to say apply, and it can hopefully load in the background. Colors and themes. Breeze dark is fine. You can tweak the colors and the plasma style and splash screens, and just all kinds of crazy stuff that you can do. I wish Windows had this many settings that you could actually access all in one place. But that's unfortunately not the case with Windows. Some stuff you still have to go the old school control panel to get at, or build the God mode folder on your desktop so you can get quick access to that stuff. Whatever floats your boat, right? Backups. Open and restore from existing backup, so you can enable this and add a new plan and do versioned or synchronized. I'm going to just turn this back off. But yeah, this is something. I spent a bunch of years using the KDE desktop before Plasma existed, starting from version 0.9 until version 3 point something. Then 4.0 turned into a dumpster fire when they introduced Plasma originally. 5 got more stable and usable. And yeah, here we are today. So it is what it is. Would I necessarily use this long term? Well, not in a virtual machine. I would probably go with a lighter weight desktop. And in fact, we can just shut this down. And we could throw in another, just do Trixie 2. And let's get interesting with this, right? We'll do Debian testing, and let's just make this interesting, right? We'll go to a Q35 machine. We'll go to UEFI. We'll add a EFI volume, QEMU agent. Sure, let's use the TPM too. Why not? Next. 45. This is all on solid state, so we need to do discard and SSD emulation. We'll give it 8 cores, 8 gigs of RAM. Bridge 0 is fine. And what the hell? Let's go through the installation procedure, right? The other VM is actually standard BIOS, so this is something different. I don't typically do my Linux VMs with UEFI. United States, American English, it's all good. So, now not Fetaverse, Fediverse, Fedi verse. Never really liked the KD plasma settings. Their designs need some work. Yeah, I tend to agree. We'll call this Trixie 2. And continue on. Hopefully I didn't fat finger that. All right. Configure the clock. Partition disks. Use entire disk is fine. And we're going to leave that on all in one partition. Write changes to disk. Yes, write changes to disk. Oh, there goes the fireworks again. Yay. So yeah. Other than posting a short this morning, after I think the first two bands, I didn't really do much video work today. Took a bunch of screenshots. I dumped some of the screenshots in the members chat on Signal. I also kept sort of a running document as the bands were on, which was, I mean, somebody else probably would have done it as well, so I can cross-reference later. But I did post that as a PDF in the members chat in Signal as well. The option of scanning additional media. No, I don't have additional media. Yes, I want a network mirror in the United States. Thank you. Let's pick on Namecheap. I don't know. Because why not? Maybe that was a bad choice. Or maybe they borrowed progress bar code from Microsoft. Yeah, looks like I've had all those on. All right, so while we're waiting for that, I'll come back on and put up this dumb thing. Hey, it would really help the channel if you'd like the video. Whether you're watching live or you're watching at some point in the future, every little bit helps. Now I remember why I never wanted to be in marketing. Or maybe I'm just feeling a little ornery after sitting in this chair for 10 hours. Yeah. So I think I killed this. That has not moved. Are we going to cancel? Going to cancel the whole install, or is it just going to hang on me? It's stuck. It's as stuck as Pooh Bear in the hole, whatever he was going in or out of. Yeah. All right. Well, so much for a live demo. Apparently, TVJ's luck has rubbed off on me. So, yeah. Let's see. What else can I potentially show tonight? I guess you could all have a sneak preview. All right, let's go back here and bring up chat again. Very good. I appreciate that, David. All right, so yeah, a bunch of open source multi-platform program for playing tabletop card games. Yeah, no thanks. Gopher 64. It's an N64 emulator written in Rust. Okay. Where did they get the name Gopher for that? Because like Gopher was a pre web protocol, or well, it was being developed in parallel with what became the web standard, right? If memory serves. After the day I've had sitting in front of the computer and in this chair, I'm not going to put a lot of merit on my memory serving me well at this point in time. Let's see. Ingram Micro outage caused by SafePay ransomware. Ooh. Rhino Linux 2025.3. Let's see. Project's latest snapshot includes a rewritten package manager, RPK2, and a new KDE-based desktop environment, which uses Plasma 6 packages. So, okay, Rhino's an Ubuntu-based rolling release. Ubuntu-based rolling release distribution with Packstall and XFCE at its core. And then it actually adds the option for the KDE-based Rhino desktop. I think they're still developing the XFCE version, but don't quote me on that. So basically, Packstall is the AUR for Ubuntu. Makes me wonder. So that's their XFCE desktop. I don't mind that. Yeah, XFCE terminal, sure. So what does their announcement say? Of course, it's going to be too small to read. Came out today. UBXI KDE desktop. We have also announced the release of our UBXI KDE desktop. This release cycle based on Plasma 6. Full announcement here. Okay, so another announcement. So in 2023, they detailed the plans for their Unicorn Beyond XFCE initiative. Excuse me. Now we know what UBXI stands for. Switch to the UBXI KDE desktop on Rhino Linux. Simply run rpk install UBXI KDE desktop git. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's definitely interesting. This bumps up to the 6.15.4 kernel. Cool. Sponsored by UB Ports Foundation. All right. Well, at least they've got themselves a sponsor. And if you want to contribute, join the Discord. All right, we've looked at that. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to star that one. One XGPU Lite eGPU with Thunderbolt 5. That sounds interesting. New model provides an external AMD Radeon RX 7600M XT GPU. Nifty. Has a Thunderbolt 5 port, which could theoretically boost performance. Assuming you've got a computer with a Thunderbolt 5 port to plug into. And no pricing has been announced. Great. So expensive. Let's see. How to install Google Chrome on Elma Linux 10. Brian Lunduke is actually sending his audience to attack people. Yeah, I unsubscribed from Lunduke years ago. Okay, so just to be clear, this release candidate 2 is for the installer only. The whole distribution is they don't do betas or release candidates or anything like that. Okay, what else do we have in here? These Sony Samsung 2.1 wireless subwoofer soundbars are great for your PC and TV. That's a thought. All right. Microsoft open sources Copilot chat for VS Code on GitHub. Great. Well, that's what I need in my backyard is a nuclear microreactor. Dun, dun, dun. Interesting. All right, I guess that's the end of stuff in Fresh RSS. So, all right. Let's see. I can jump back to my other page and the remainder of the big show today. After the Fred Durst thing came Guns N' Roses. They did It's All Right and Never Say Die and Junior's Eyes, which were all okay, even though Axl's voice is kind of shot to hell. Then on Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, he just started rushing ahead of the music with his singing. And they finished the set by doing Welcome to the Jungle in Paradise City. Then Metallica came on. This was a pretty good set as well. They opened with Hole in the Sky, a Black Sabbath song. Then they did Creeping Death, Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, and For Whom the Bell Tolls, which are all Metallica songs. Then they did Johnny Blade, which was kind of surprising because that came off the Never Say Die album towards the end of the original Black Sabbath lineup, the next to the last album that they did. Very polarizing album amongst fans. Then they did Battery, which is a Metallica song. I made a note that Kirk Hammett, the lead guitar player, was wearing a jacket that had Edgar Allan Poe on the back of it, which I thought was kind of cool. And then they finished with Master of Puppets. Then Ozzy came on in his throne. He sang his back-to-back sets, his solo set and his Black Sabbath set seated because he's got Parkinson's disease and his legs are on the receiving end of most of the Parkinson's symptoms. He opened with I Don't Know. He did Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Mama, I'm Coming Home, and Crazy Train. And the note I made on this was that Zakk Wylde, the guitar player, was wearing a purple kilt with a leather vest. Interesting combinations. And then the final ever on-stage performance by Black Sabbath was War Pigs, NIB, Iron Man, and Paranoid, which was unsurprising. So, anyway, let's see. I need to go to Tracker. Today is the 5th. I did one short and one live stream and one post. 2, 3, 6, 9. We're 5 days in and I'm at 9. All right. I'll take it. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. It's been a long day, but I guess a good day. I've got a good to-do list for tomorrow. I'll hopefully be getting midweek news recorded so that can release on Wednesday. Potentially another long form video that will get recorded and release either Monday or Friday. And yeah, I will probably I'll do a live stream tomorrow night and potentially one on Wednesday. I leave on vacation on Friday. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Taking vacation when I am, but there's always a potential that I can do something from Illinois. I will be trying to take enough equipment to do that. The only thing I won't have down there is a good light. I'm not going to take this thing all apart and drag it down there with me. But we'll make do. Maybe I can sneak in a live stream one of the days I'm down there, and just keep things moving. Oh, I know what else I was going to mention. I happened to get a nice comment earlier today. I think it was today. May have been last night. I don't remember. No, it was today. It says 10 hours ago. It's a video or a comment left on a video that's like 6 years old. That was accessing the Ubuntu Linux desktop graphically using RDP via XRDP. And the comment said, coming from 6 years in the future, here to thank you for a super concise guide on getting this set up. I had a more difficult time finding a straightforward guide than you might think. And so, those are the kinds of comments that keep me doing this. Because I'll admit that 6 days without power really threw me for a loop, and I paid for it in June. I made 2 months in a row that were very lackluster in terms of content output and views and revenue, and they were just 2 bad months in a row. So I'm hoping July is going to be the start of a rebound going into the last half of the year, right? How is Ozzy's voice? I would say it was better during his solo set than during the Black Sabbath set. It was all right, but the band is over 70 years old. So, you can't expect him to sing like he did 50 years ago. I give him a lot of credit for doing what he did. I guess this show was a year in the making. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine was sort of the musical director of sorts, I guess. He did a lot of work making the phone calls to the different artists to line things up and get people to perform and do it for free, because the proceeds were all going to charity. But just the sheer number of bands that they had and the I don't know, the whole thing was well put together. In between bands playing, they would have snippets from people, fans around the world. Well, mostly North America, South America, and Europe. Well, South and Central America, Mexico and whatnot. But, didn't see any Asian representation. But I imagine a lot of those people were watching, unless they were stuck behind the Great Firewall of China. Then they might not have been watching. But yeah, I think things are starting to come back together. And hopefully July will be a rebound month and I can get some good content out. I've got a couple of filler ideas, which are basically going to be remakes of previous videos with updated information and better recording equipment. So there's that as well. So the video that was commented on was for Ubuntu 18.04, which is like 7 years old. So I could do an updated video using the current LTS version of Ubuntu and showing it's not mine, but showing the easy RDP install script to get that going. Now, I will say that I believe on the Red Hat Enterprise Linux derivatives or workalikes, whatever you want to call them, they are enabling RDP by default instead of pushing VNC, which has its pros and cons, right? Although ironically, or somewhat ironically, many of your remote access softwares, even commercial ones, are a custom wrapper around a modified VNC package. And that's how they get it to run cross-platform. So there's that. How's the bass guitar? Well, it's still here. I haven't really touched it much since, in the last couple of weeks anyways. After watching the concert all day today, I'm tempted to pick it back up tomorrow, though. The big thing I want to get for it, though, is a guitar strap. I don't have a guitar strap, so right now I can only mess with it sitting down, and I sit enough when I'm at work. So, a guitar strap would be a good investment. So anyway, I guess now the final thing I guess I'll show is we are at 7,361 subscribers. So that gets us up to 11 added for the month so far, which is not super speedy, but it's not the worst growth I've seen. Would I like to speed it up? Sure. Oh, yeah. Under analytics, if you go into advanced mode, they now have new filtering controls for advanced mode, and you can save custom reports. So, like I've got subs gained by content 2024. And so Open Media Vault 6.9 gained me 93 subscribers. The Fog video gained me 72 subscribers. Proxmox 71. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And I can look at what I've done so far in 2025. And the overwhelming majority of my subscribers this year have come from Open Media Vault content. And then SSH and Fog and more SSH and Proxmox. Yeah. So the reports are kind of interesting. I suppose I should go back there. I also did subs by content in the last 90 days. So if I were to judge by this information, now granted, I may want to change this to 365 days, but it really doesn't change the breakdown too much. By far, I get the most subscribers from long form videos, then live streams, then shorts. I think other is mostly going to be posts, but I'm not too sure what other actually is. I don't know if this will actually show up anything for lifetime. Not really. So what if we do 10/01 2021? So that would be after I got the Mac, the new Mac Mini. So still, videos are way ahead of live streams and shorts and whatever other is. I don't have a description of what other is. I wish they'd tell me, but yeah, the filtering is pretty cool. It really a much more straightforward approach to being able to do this. So if you haven't played around with the custom filters in the advanced mode, that's something to think about. Special reports, audience by age and gender, lifetime. So people 25 to 34 are most likely to watch. And yeah. Apparently, this channel is one big sausage fest, and the ladies don't seem to find much interest in it. So yeah, anyway, that's that. We hit the hour mark. I'm happy. I didn't really intend to go much past that at this point. It's been a long day, a lot of sitting in this chair, and I just assume move around a little bit and go sit in the comfy chair before I go to bed. Since I have been up since 5:15 this morning. Why, I couldn't tell you. Apparently, they report everybody's age. So let me get rid of the graph again and go back to that. Audience by age and gender. So we just do like last 365 days. 30.4% of my viewers are between 25 and 34. And 35 to 44 is 24.5%. 18 to 24 is 17%. 45 to 54 is 15.4%. 55 to 64 is 8.3%. And over 65 is 4.5%. So take that for what you will, I guess. I guess we could look at subscription status on this. Say not subscribed. Guess that doesn't do much. All right, well. Watch hours. Yep, and 35 to 44 is watching the channel the most too. I don't know. I got nothing. Yep. Well, I'm only one bar over from the two of you guys. I guess I should just be happy I'm still kicking as an old fart. All right. It's been an hour and 11 and a half minutes. I just want to say thank you all for coming out at relatively short notice. I wasn't sure this afternoon earlier whether I was going to feel like streaming tonight or not. But after seeing the end of the concert, I thought, my food got delivered. I'll get a little bit of bite to eat, and I'll go stream for an hour. So I guess I'm going to go watch a little YouTube or watch a movie or something, and then go to bed because it's been a long flipping day. So on that note,
good night, Josephus.
And everybody out there in YouTube land. I appreciate your continued support, and I'll likely be live again tomorrow night. I will try to get the stub for the live stream posted earlier than what I did tonight. Have a good one, everybody.